day, good evening. We are doing I'm back with some satisfactory time. Apologies for the audio stuff. I am attempting to blow up my. Use some reasoning models on an AI computer. And I'm officially using 151 gigs of RAM. So that's a first. But we're today, or if you join me, I'm going to be playing some Satisfactory. And let's get into it. I need to pre-roll for streams, but whatever. Do that for better or worse. Make sure I can hear myself. Oh, okay. The audio is coming in pretty good at max volume. It sounds better than when I was coming through my headset's mic, which apparently was all last stream. So this is my more normal sounding voice, I assume, but that's not necessarily better. Today, I am going to be building 10 manufacturers and a crystal oscillator build out, which I don't have enough plastic for. As evidenced in my to-do list. I love that they added that. Okay. We are also, like I said, 801 tickets or coupons. Creating a bunch of those. I think I'm going to change up my... Man, this thing chunks through. Okay. Change up my strategy a little bit. Currently, I have just enough modular engines and adaptive control units to complete phase 4 and phase 5 of the project part. But I was thinking about this last night, is I might go for a project part or a setup that allows me to do or uses those adaptive control units for the next module or the next project part, which syncs for a much, much higher price. So I think that is I can't remember which one it is, and I can't let go of my zip cord or it will fall, which is portable, but we'll check that in a second. If you didn't catch the stream last night, I played a little Hunt Showdown after work and did some solo games, which I ended up shooting somebody with a Derringer. Actually, I shot 2 or 3 people with a Derringer penny shot, but I killed 1 or 2 other hunters who were trying to kill me. Well, one of them wasn't, but that's because they didn't know I was there. So I got my Derringer badge for shooting. Why is this like they're not running? lights here don't necessarily help me because I'm colorblind, so I cannot see. We're doing 100%. Sweet. Need to expand my power infrastructure. Let's check. I'm getting closer and closer to that 5,000 or near 6,000 megawatts. It's been surprising, but then again, I haven't been running a lot of the major things. Plastic done. Motors I left back there. Modular frames, cable. Dip into that a little bit. I should have enough. Let me see what my build is gonna require. But the stream yesterday was pretty fun. Do some satisfactory build out, and then this will probably be interrupted by eating breakfast. And then see what I need to do. Cleaning or adulting wise. Where is I'm still tired. Okay. I need 10 manufacturers, 4 or 5 assemblers, a whole bunch of constructors, 12. Yes. So to get this thing built, 5, 30, 2. Miners are already set for the most part. I need to run a bunch of belts. Okay. 628 rotors. Okay. Need a lot of cable. Yeah. 5 assemblers, constructors, bunch of steel. This will be an undertaking or an endeavor. I'm good. Refilled the stocks. These are running. I could sink the excess like plastic and copper sheets that I opened up, but I don't really want to. Like I'll sink the excess plastic, but I don't want to sink the excess copper sheets because I don't think they give me a good enough. Like they're not. They're low value, and it makes more sense to do that. So, oh yeah, definitely do a smart splitter on an angled thing. But look at this bad thing. That's badass. It's supported, kind of, not necessarily well. Find a cable. I need to get more plastic? Probably. I should probably get more plastic. And I should probably do something with the alien stuff that I picked up. That's computers. I need computers. It's computers. Let's grab it. Computers. Go, smart splitter. ride the zip cord back. And probably forget something. I'm gonna need a ton of concrete and steel or iron plates to build out this. This is gonna be fun. So I'm gonna build it over in this region of the desert that has the two rock quartz crystals. It's an iron node and a copper node and a limestone node. I'm not using the limestone. I can think of, but the plan is I need to actually bring in another iron and copper node because I don't have enough iron and copper. I definitely do not have enough copper for what's required for the crystal oscillators, even with the 120. And it's fun to zip off the line without doing this. So I'm gonna do that. The thing that I only do manually until I set this up is I can make it. See, these are the things that we want to build. I need a bunch of cable, which means this might be interesting because I'm gonna have to change up my circuit board production. But the only thing that I really tried to do manually or handcrafting in this playthrough, which has been going for a little bit, largely because I've just let the dedicated server run after I get things set up, is the power, not the power shards, but the alien protein stuff. Now, this is the fun one that I did yesterday, or that I did this week. But maybe I have somewhere else. I have. Let me go like this. And watch them get split up. And then power shards, which I am not using much overclocking for, though there is one thing that I am tempted to overclock. Let me get Firebot set up. Yeah, I'm excited for the 156 gig run. Me. This will probably need more of. I don't think I need rubber for anything. I do. What is the no, rubber? Plastic is for the manufacturer. Grab some. Overkill on that. Oh, that's punch frame. I need my motors. That was not intentional. Cable is not being. Well, I guess it is. I'm confused as to. But we have enough of most things. My screws for the awesome sink, not great, but I'm gonna grab here. Back. If I have enough steel, should have enough steel. Concrete is the next thing, which I do not have much. All right, I am sinking down here. So the idea is to build out everything that I need in an automated stance or set capability. And grab plates or iron plates so that everything can be built, or I'm not handcrafting things or shoe leather expressing. Now I did make some concessions to this what's it called? I relaxed the constraints on this for the advanced project parts or the project parts portions. Given that I didn't have the infrastructure set up for training the parts, and I wanted to get at least into phase 4 with the components. Shit. I thought I get over there from here. With the components, mostly, well, all the components are automated, but the project parts themselves were not. Where am I gonna keep? Oh, what's that? The hover pack plus the zip line is always an adventure. But the nice thing with the hover pack is I can recover quickly if I need to. I think this run. Huh? Runs me right through that. I raised it up a platform too high. So this is going to need to be adapted, as my current process makes silicone circuit boards, which gives me my surplus of circuit boards that I can run. I can build out whatever I need. But also uses most of this rock crystal. It doesn't. I mean, this stuff just gets the quartz crystal just gets sunk. What I want to do is turn that into something else entirely, which means I'm going to take this and make the sky bridge the other direction. Now I realize it's not necessarily ideal because that other direction is out here, and this platform is going to be absolutely massive. So I'm going to want to do some decision work or deciding as to where going to make a big platform and basically build from the the desired outcome back. Let's see if that works. And then ship it here. I swear I've spent most of my gameplay running sky bridges from this or across this desert, which is one of the more enjoyable portions. So if I have 10, oh boy, 10 manufacturers. I don't feel like this is enough space for 10 manufacturers. Don't. It's not. It's wrong place. The Zoop is a game changer. It was a game changer. And I'm out of power. And given that I haven't used any of my tickets, I don't have the ability to. Power nubs are not a thing. Okay. I can do 10 manufacturers. So the goal of this build is 10 crystal oscillators per minute, which, put it in perspective, how much a crystal oscillator costs. Let's look at Awesome Sync documentation and the values. Currently, my most expensive thing that I'm not necessarily, or that I haven't set up to send, or that I dump in there, is a considerable amount. Looking at this crystal oscillators, it is not as considerable as I thought it was, but my adaptive control unit is okay. So the heavy modular frame. No. Okay. So yeah, heavy modular frame is one of the bigger things, or is something that I have one machine running or one manufacturer running constantly, or it's maxed out with one of my alternate recipes. That is running, or that is 10,800 points. Now the adaptive control unit, which I need to look at where it comes or gets used for, because this is the one that I've been making inside. Oh, it's the assembly director system. So the adaptive control unit is the one that I've got, uses my heavy modular frames, my circuit boards, which I'm going to obliterate the production of in a minute, and the computers. And that generates, or that nets, 76,360 or 368 points. The only thing, but what I decided, or what I was thinking about last night, is to not sync my 80 or my AC. Yeah, sure. My adaptive control units, because these assembly director systems yield, or they're slow as fuck, because they have 2 ACUs, which means I need to get trains to pull circuit boards and computers over, as well as more heavy module frames. And I've already got the automated wiring was rather simple. I just used one stator machine to feed all of these, or to feed 2 of these. But the ACUs go into the ADSs for the Awesome Sync coupons. Awesome being whatever. This is a 500,000 point sync. It is fifth, the fifth highest point value, only exceeded by nuclear pasta, which is 538,000, AI expansion servers, which we all need all of the AI expansion servers, not just in game, for 597,000. Thermal propulsion rockets, which I believe are right here, are 728,000 points. And the ballistic warp drive, which I wasn't even aware was in the game until I started this playthrough. So this little bugger can get me some serious points after I produce the 500 that I need. So I have 1,500 ACUs that will create 500 of this, and then I think it's 250 of the next phase. But once I set up the things, I can do this. Now the oscillator, or the oscillator build, which I'm now rethinking because I don't need a bunch of RCUs. I don't think. We can go in and see. Radio control units. Radio control units are eventually used for, I believe, not the thermal propulsion unit. Maybe it is. Nope. This is a cooling system, heavy modular, use modular frame and turbo motor. So this is what I'm going to be unlocking in a minute. So maybe I should dial down my 10 radio, or my 10 crystal oscillators, because they only net like 3,000 a point or piece, and I'm not going to be making a ton of them unless they are needed in. I mean, there's still 30,000 for the RCUs, so that's not a bad. And they're required for a bunch of things. So okay, the 10 oscillators, or crystal oscillators, are not a bad thing. They are required for crafting the turbo motor, which means they are going to be important for. I have turbo. I don't have turbo motors yet, so they are required for turbo motors. And I do need a few of these crystal oscillators. So these aren't too bad. I'm going to have to ramp up my computer production too. Okay, so that makes it so that I'm not as concerned, or that allayed my concern, because it is a valuable component. Now, how do you want to do 10 manufacturers? Or how do I want to do 10 manufacturers? I could just do 10 manufacturers in a massive line. Let's see how many do. So that's 8, and I am needing to get some additional space here. So this is going to be an interesting implementation, or much bigger than I assumed build was, which is cool. I'm going to run into a problem here in a second, so I think I'm going to impacted by this. Well, that was unintentional. I ran out of power. Where is my... a power line? All right. Optimal power placement. Is it optimal? No. And there's 1. There's 10. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? that is 10 manufacturers. Now, this whole thing takes 900 or it's like 867 megawatts of power, which means I might definitely need to, or I'm going to be reaching the max. I have power things. This is going to be one of those things that I should probably have built blueprint for, but I haven't really been doing any blueprint work. We have 10 manufacturers. That's going to be one massive, 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 massive uh, manifold. That's, I think I'm just going to get rid of these. This feels inadequate. So what I'm thinking is, in order to do crystal oscillators, which I should have copied and pasted, over here, crystal oscillator. I need quartz, which I can produce over there. Cable, which I need to produce behind me, but I also need reinforced iron plates. So I need cable and wire because I want to do the wire plan. Gives me oh yeah, that's where. Yeah, surprisingly, copper. Copper is the limitation here. I did not realize that. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't know it. And I am going to take a short break. I'm going to go warm up food and stretch my legs. Let's enjoy the beauty of this game. Um, but I will return momentarily. One thing I didn't put is Spotify. So we'll do some Spotify. And drop that in there for tunes. Now I'll be right back. I think the music's a little loud, at least in my head or ears. But probably not on the stream. I'm gonna crank it down a little bit. Group therapy. Okay. Now, how do I? So what I need is some wire. And one of the challenges of wire is there's a lot more needs a lot more space to create or for. Is that gonna clip? That is gonna clip. You are a cool feature, but you are also in the way. Which is only really one. Okay, that's not bad. So I need to get my raw or my quartz crystal over here. Ow. Let's go for big. And just fall down. Yeah. That's bizarre. No. Just figure that out later. Okay. This. So I need wire and iron. I could do iron from there, wire from here. It's gonna be moving. How much? I don't know. Might. I don't know. Rethinking or questioning my entire existence. Damn, that is a. I did not realize how. how simple that is. Okay, this is the fun one of I've got enough that I could do. I've been using load balancers, and by load balancers, one um like you splitter to do most of the balancing. Oh man, I was just freaked out, and it's about time to do another quick break. But being able to run splitter like this. But also, like, just a splitter like this. Click the thing. And then use this. Oh, there it does. Okay. So this is a load balancer, which means I can get most of the stuff in there just fine. The challenge is I have to, not really a challenge, because it's just grab splitter here. Do something similar over here. Man, I had that one click stuff. And then we have load balanced. Okay, I'll be right back again. That's hard to see. Yeah, let's take a look at those beautiful mountains and such, and I shall return. Still, I'm not a big fan of how sites handle ad block or not handle ad block. This will be an interesting one. So how do I load balance 3 inputs, right? 3 inputs? What's it gonna be? Where's the Oh, good. There was one time at band camp, no, one time where I forgot to, or I copied and pasted the wrong thing, or I copied from a machine that didn't have a recipe. So that got awkward when it was like, I am now missing something. So I do want to do or continue. I didn't realize I was going to do that, like, off the... That's not what I want to do. So it's a manifold design with a non-manifold. Problem is figuring out how to get this to work. Oh, that does work. Except that's not what I wanted that to do. So this should allow me to snap right there. And then I can come over here and make this one here. This. Straight. I don't see how you go there. I mean, I could make that cleaner by setting this up here. I like that better. No, those are two there. Idea. Sweet. That's a pretty clean beast of Now the challenge is making sure that I've got things set up to Looks like it lines up. No. In the middle of the maybe this. Oh shit. Made these octopus arms a little bit too big. Or offset. God damn. Whatever. That's okay. Don't mind the incongruence of that one. Oh. I forgot. There are 10. That's going to be fun. I'm pretty sure. Satisfactory was in 1.0 before June of 2025. So I'm using the Minimax M2.5 or M2.5 model, which is a crazy reasoning model. Crazy by it takes 128 or 20.8 gigs of RAM, and it's got some coding and language skills but the cutoff date is June 2025. So that's kind of annoying because Satisfactory released 1.0 after 1. Or like before June. It's been a year, has it not? Yeah. Of the things to get annoyed at. The next test in my model testing is Diamondback rattlesnakes, which I already lamented about yesterday in the stream. Because I had a fucking model tell me that there was a diamondback turtle. Okay, so next test. I didn't test the Monty Python. But I can see the. Hey, fuck. Yeah, good. I am so happy. Because I don't want to load a big ass or an expensive model just to have it tell me that, like yesterday or like the other day, that a diamondback is going to be a turtle. But the model did explain that a terrapin is assumed or can be assumed to be the subject or would be considered a diamondback turtle, albeit not not necessarily the diamondback. Line up. Kind of winging this one, but that's okay. Okay. I thought I did more. That's not. Straight. That's not the thing. There we go. That is the thing. That is. This one's a little bit not outlier-ish as the shit. Where's the thing? Back to go. curve, back to default. I do, so Zoop was game changing. Love the Zoop mechanic. The ability to do different belts and stuff is also super cool. So what I might do is, because let's look at numbers here. I could probably do a splitter. Yeah, probably do. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to split these things. So this is going to consume a total of 140, 225, right? This is not going to be the highest speed or like crazy throughput. So I could do Mark 1 belts for most of this stuff and have it be just fine. Okay. Look, bask in the genius of my attempted load balancing. Feel it, love it, desire it, envy it. Don't replicate it. Because crikey. Crikey! Oh yeah, so usually, or my go-to is trying to figure out if the model has a concept of humor, largely asking it what the average airspeed velocity of a coconut-laden swallow is, because, fucking classic Monty Python. It's good to ask that. However, sometimes the model does not have that baked in, and I got snarky comments from more of the recent models, and some of the older models are like, "Fuck you, stop asking me Monty Python jokes." But I didn't ask that because my new test is are you gonna bullshit me on what a diamondback fucking rattlesnake is versus a diamondback turtle? Okay, so now I have most of the end result. What I think I'm going to do is figure out a distribution structure for this. I need to get... These are going to produce 5.65. So we're going to... that's the machine one. So I need to send 25 reinforced plates a minute. It's not very much. Crystal is going to be that. But it is that time for a second, third break. This time I'll leave you in the good hands of Arjuna Beats again. And instead of being right back, we're going to be right back because I missed a tea. But I shall return in a couple minutes. Apologies for the break, but this is morning routine stuff. So enjoy the beats. Anybody watching the VOD, throw on some music. It'll be a couple minutes. Yeah, apologies, and I shall return. Okay, I apologize for that delay. Let's go back to building the stuff. Um, while I was uh, sufficiently, distracted, I read a BuzzFeed article that was about like 30 things you'll never see in houses today. And oh my God, I think I saw there's only one that I either haven't been in a house with, but I think it was also like an orange or a grapefruit juicer. So I'm pretty sure I've seen it too. Like this will work. I need to figure out how to load balance, and this might be a question to Ramrod if he makes an appearance. Ramrod also, let's do a so Ramrod at Ramrod Ramrod. Unity. Early. Doo. Skittish bus. Stud muffin. Yeet 'em. Man. I haven't seen a lot of these people in a long time. Odium. Plums. Taco. Nothing more. Huh. Interesting. I was gonna call or shout out to Ramrod, but I don't see him anymore. Anyhow, Ramrod is a great um community member, and he just completed phase 5 like a day or two ago, which is probably save the day, probably, which is an impressive undertaking. Yeah, I've got most of this set up. Probably that's not set these up so that they can be run as alternative outputs. I need to looks like do 2 splitters, which it's gonna throw me off. I'm not entirely sure how my load balancing is gonna hit at this point. And I don't think these are necessary. But we've gone far enough, or have come far enough from an output standpoint. The only thing we need to do is really collect these, and at the rate that they're going to be made, I am not necessarily super concerned about that. 10 a minute. It's not crazy. That's not in line. 10 a minute is not a crazy rate. Given the power cost, this is probably, well, I talked through that. Power cost is probably not worth it. The 550 points that it will produce or 500,000 points it will produce. It's probably more. It's definitely the more interesting portion of this. And the nice thing about manifolding this part is this is not going to, I'm not going to have a sufficient backup that it will cause a problem here. We can also fill a storage container, and this might be a good enough buffer with that will allow me to fall off and run out of power. How long have we got? An hour and 27 minutes. Okay, now the question then becomes less the manufacturer build out, which is fun, is adapting the ore. What's the wrong thing too? There we go. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. In order to get 10 crystal oscillators a minute, I'm going to have to spike my my quartz crystal construction because it requires 300 quartz per minute, and I think the most I can get out of it right now is not 300. Probably gonna die. I'm gonna die. Yes, damage. Ooh. Oh, that happens. So let's make this be not a thing. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Rocket. Speed jumps. Around the globe. Oh, yeah. So these are Mark 1s, and I need to do some Mark 2s. I have 2. So that's still only 240, which means I need... Do I have power crystals? Do you? You can't stay here. Okay, I only need 150. So that's 20.1. Oh, gee. That's not right. There's 150. Okay. So let me juice up the power as it is. And then... hopefully I don't take any more wild falls. Why do I have a random... power? This is 2. This is 100. Yep, I need... Ooh, backwards feels faster than forwards. That's kind of fun. Whee! And yes, I play with the beasties in passive mode or the critters in passive mode because, well, I don't necessarily want to die. Because look at all them critters. Yeah. Uh, am I arachnophobic? No. Do I have I been weirded out by these spiders for the whole time that I've played? Yes, absolutely fucking lootly. Long ago, I don't remember if I stream. I think I did stream it. I need to open up that save again. I had a build where I tried to make a shit ton of things under the map, and I should really load that save up again after I back up or save that save file. Um, to see how if it still works. Did I get? I did stretch my legs for this hour, but while under the world, these fucking spiders, as I guess punch them. Did I get ore? No, but did I get? Oh god, I did get ore. As I got these spiders would track me. They just disappeared. What happened there? What just happened? Did I smash them? Did they spontaneously explode? I don't understand what just happened, but I'll take spitter remains after I punched one of them. So confused right now. That's okay. I'm probably not going to put foundations down for these two. It's lazy, but we're just going to call them mining outposts or something. I'm just going to call them mining outposts. Now, the question is why did I point this one this way and not that way? All right. This was clipping against my power. Or my. Hmm. Hmm. In the water. I remember. Oh, right. Made a fused frame thing out here. I think I needed steel. I don't remember what the fused frame required. Look at the beautiful lighting. I'm gonna ask MX. I'm gonna ask Minimax. I need to really pay attention to the thinking stuff. I like the thinking. This is actually pretty funny. Um, shit, it's got some of the. Damn, this plan is pretty good. Um, Minimax is not. It had some missteps. It recommended going to gold. Should probably get a chat. Ugh, bad, 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 bad. You're gonna handcraft some stuff because only Steam. It was like you need silver and gold in the one area. Like this fucking game doesn't have silver and gold. It has material. That's not. It's a gold like substance, but that's not the same. Yeah. The model is not terrible. It's just not also great. Let's do some stuff. Okay, curve. I don't like curve. For you purists out there, I'm going to make this not. Also missing. Oh, I'm a purist. It's me, Mario. We are just bringing rah rah. Raw belts. Melting raw stuff is gross, but melting ore. Shit. Okay. I realize the iron is going to be going under the most likely going to be needed to go under the copper, given that copper will do this. Twisting belts. Yeah. Purist, sorry. Clipping. And I have no power here. So you have no power. What is? It reminds me of the Labyrinth, which I haven't watched in many years, but forever made me a Jennifer Connelly fan. So there's that. See, and this is where I am now not regretting, but questioning my. Do we have enough concrete? We do. No, we don't. Ah, cool. Well, we do. Just reasons. Reasons. need to build an MCP server for Satisfactory. Not any for anybody else, but for me. And it would be cool to have an MCP server with no. This is problem. This is problematic over here too. So don't want round. Ew, this is bad. We'll have to figure this out. So, as long as it's semi all right. Let's see, we can do 4 meters. All right, not a fan of this. As Ramrod pointed out, there is no spoon. Oh, no, that's not. That wasn't Ramrod. That was Rowan from the Matrix. Spoon Boy, I believe, is the common reference to the young lad who makes the observation that there is no spoon. It is only you. It is not the spoon that bends. It is you. Thus, there is no spoon. Or some shit. I watched it with my son, and it was funny because he was going to plan on doing, or he was going to do something like go to the gym, and I wanted to finish the movie, right? And we ended up definitely watching a lot more. From an iron plate perspective, this is going to be... I need a bunch of iron. Actually. What the hell? What did I do? I don't even need that iron. Okay. Oh, yeah, I do. 5 units. I needed 5 units of iron from over there. Fun times. I wonder if Bourbon is the Phineas, or from Phineas and Ferb. Upload you. Because I can. Upload you too. Because I can. I don't want to upload you because it take a long time. Yeah, so I need 5 units of iron. So all of that iron over here is to essentially rank out 5. Which is hilarious. That's why I said copper's the bottleneck here. Copper really does. I'm going to need 240 copper. Yeah, copper's the bottleneck as well as the quartz, because I have to spike my production of quartz. Let's do some smelters. All right, this is one of those fun ones. We'll do some load balancing. That's not a load balance. This is a split. Damn it. That's also wrong. Why would I? This is my frustration with the splitters. Is sometimes, whatever reason, it gives me much more than I want. Okay, we need to merge. Fuck. No, we can do this. We can do this. We got this. Oops, I don't know. Split. Nope, don't like it. Actually, keep that. You and you. Oh wait. And then Q. Minor mark 2. Minor mark 2. Stuck for a second. There we go. There we go. We'll do a merger, which is not lined up with this thing at all. What the hell? And that is how we get that was Avenue 1. Let me own you by the fucking. Why does that feel off? So hover pack is fun because it lets me float and build. Wasn't what I was intending to power. But the hover pack is fun because it lets me float and build. However, the hover pack takes is a little bit of a learning curve given that um, you get to learn about drifting. Okay. Let me do this. Then we can go back to routing. wanted it. See if I made this too big. Nope. Now I can use excuse me, that copper for wire and cable. I wonder if my spawn. Yes. A minute ago he was my son. Now he's my spawn. And I can't find Discord. Nope. Looks like he's still up. Usually comes down and sees how I'm doing. Gotta rationalize this. Done. Now you are linked. Loading. Now you're grounded, not loaded. I give you stability and stuff. It's like a garden walk or something. However, this is going to turn into plates. Plates. And I need a few. Only 5 constructors, so this is not bad for plates, actually. Might be able to do this right here. Not right there. Not right there. Five. That means I can do 3. That's 32. Yeah, nope, I don't like this. Edit to-do list. We want to do back. So this length is not long enough for constructors, but this one might. Should definitely take this one. Just hey, Beastie, please move. Thank you. See, it works so nice. It's so much nicer when they don't like fight. Now, do I want to do a cluster of 3 and 2? I mean, all the plates are going to be outputting 83.3 units per minute, which is not much. I'm going to have enough plates to max that out, so I'll have a buffer or some ability or an additional. I'll have a surplus, probably. Twitch is aggressive with this, like, ad blocking nonsense. Yeah, I'm gonna stretch my legs. I'll be right back. I'll give you something better to look at. Thank you, kind citizen, for watching. I shall return. turn. My hip flexors are really sore. Really sore. I yeah, whatever. This is so I have Steam sheets or sheets being created over there. I'm going to max out. So I'm gonna use 223.2 or 33 units of or 224 units of copper, which means my my sheets are definitely or my circuit boards are gonna disappear. Trying to figure out what that means. But, whoa. We have power. But we will have more power. Let's go turn on. Let's give it the juice. Where's the juice? Need more juice. Found out what he has or was so I'm listening to podcasts again, which is man, or a couple podcasts more to do stuff. AI stuff at work. But it's not just the voice that's important, like the questions podcaster ask or interviewers ask. Like make or break great guess. And I mean I guess the show or the presenter, the podcast itself is really good or is important. I don't actually like the way that I set this up. I think if I drop and without clipping. Ooh, rad that. That's very close. Okay, we should have in 30 minutes, sometime later, have ore flying down this. Oh, there's ore. Shit. Alright, I was going to make the plates. The constructors right here. We'll do the same thing here. Splitter. did it again. Let's do this again. And then this one is the other part. Oop. Oop, oop, oop. There we go. Do another, not manifold, but more load balance-ish thing. This one. This one. All right, power. All that power. Do the things. Make the things. What I'll most likely do is I need thoughts and thoughts. What I will most likely do is send 4, 3 components over this bridge over here. Those 3 components will be iron plates, wire, and quartz crystal. The quartz crystal, being the one thing that will be fed raw into, not raw, but will not be, well, I guess wire too. So I'll have to split out the wire to the cable production and the reinforced plates production. And iron plates will go solely into there. So I'll want to put that on the right side so I can route that there. Cable or wire in the middle so it can be split to the reinforced iron plates. And then raw quartz or the quartz crystal so it can be fed straight into the manufacturers, which will be over here. I'm picturing this in my head. So. So this will get, so I'll route the 3 belts through here. Quartz will be sent probably to this first one. And what I can do is do a splitter. this will be adapted. Does that feel crooked? Shit. That's crooked. Also feels crooked. I think it's just the way that I've got my screen because everything lines up. So this will be my splitter. That's 18 per minute, 30 something. 38 plus whatever, so do maths. It's 18, 54. So I do only need Mark 1. And then all excess will be routed through this one down here. Now we get into the more interesting parts because some of these components wire will be easily handled over here too. Okay. God damn it. Well. Yeah, that's straight. Side of. Oh, no. This is going to be for wire. Wire is going to need less than 60. So, again, I can do another straight thing here. Good golly, Miss Bolly. I need to watch Clockwork Orange. I am now convinced. Because Malcolm Maxwell, I think his name is the is the gentleman on Franklin and Bash. He is hilarious. What a voice and presence. Actually, did I see? Was he in the last episode that I watched? I don't know. But Anna, what's her name? Is definitely. Okay, these are going to be, this third one, the top, is going to be my reinforced plates, and that is the slowest of the two. The three. Slowest of the three. Now, I wanted to, I would do way too many things, but I think I'm going to. There's 3, 7, something. You're gonna clip, and I'm going to be okay with this. Oh, yes, you, dear viewer, are also okay with this. Because it's not your build. No, sorry. It is. It doesn't line up very well. Choices. Now, I could run it over there. Or I could do something like this. And run it out of max distance, which is not, I guess, ideal, but I think. Yes, I'm trying to see if power works. No. Let's see if I can maintain power floating. Sweet. I think I just plugged all that shit in, which means I don't have. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, those things take a hit. I'm gonna have to expand my power infrastructure, probably between now and next stream, which might be tomorrow, or next stream on next stream, which will be tomorrow. How long have we been? 2 hours and 18 minutes. So these don't need to be plugged in, but now that they are plugged in, waiting for the cable. Call. I believe it's time to reroute. It's time to turn off the let this empty. Is it already? Alright, I did stand up like 15 minutes. Production is paused. Okay. This will run out. I have some surplus over here. I've got a stock of copper sheets that I may or may not produce. Let's store some. Let's store some circuit boards. Because I am changing this whole thing. I've got some surplus of these quartz crystals that I can probably start, or I can start feeding, but I'm gonna have to rebuild or re-architect this entire redesign. Um, for one primary reason is I don't need silica. I need quartz crystal, which is only being produced over here. And I need a little bit of it. I need 180 units, which means I'm going to create or wipe this out and make 8 constructors for my quartz crystal. So I think I need maybe not an MCP server, but I want to learn MCP, Model Context Protocol, and skills, but give my agent, which is why I'm running the Minimax, because it's supposed to do, or it was updated like a day ago, so you poisoned the model. Good job. Hey, we're at 804. I'm almost at 81%. Right. 81. Okay. 804. So I've, in this time, got a little bit more than. So I'm going to let this run and call it a stream for now. Then I will come back and increase my expand, essentially obliterate this entire thing. How are we doing over here? These run all right. Are you awake enough to play Hunt? If your audio is on. I don't know. But this is my crystal oscillator factory. Instead of building it from the start to the outcome, I started from the outcome to the thingy. It'll be 10 crystal oscillators a minute, which is a surprisingly hefty lift for a minimal, or not a minimal, but a smaller than anticipated point output. And what I want to do is use all my copper surplus first before I change all of that. Boop. I do have one or two. It's just sitting. A bunch of copper sheets. I think I'm let this drain. Then I can switch over this to wire. Wire's going to be a pain in the ass to. Eh, 280. Okay, so I'm going to have to use. I might actually have to use. I will have to use a Mark IV belt. Do I have enough stuff for Mark IV? Probably not for the space. Man, this is where shipping ingots up to that build might be, or that platform might be the best or the most efficient way Because if I craft the ingots here, which requires 8 smelters, I'm only sending 224 or 240 ingots to the wire production, which means I'm going to have to see if I can fit that whole wire cable expansion up there. Huh. Thinking. I might be able to plumb. Yeah. Okay. Let this run a little bit longer. Still got some time. I'm not a fan of clipping through floors, but I can definitely change up some of the stuff. I am also sure my delete filter or dismantle filter does not dismantle filter properly. Having never or having not used that in a long time, it was really disappointing to have the dismantle filter break. Rationale for this current change. First off, when I built this last, I did not need the things that I needed now. Or I didn't have a hover pack, which is not necessarily human leg friendly, but good enough. Good enough. So what I'm going to do is run these things. Maybe we'll do this. Creatures. God damn it, spitter. Out of the way. Don't make me harvest your DNA. Seven. What do we load back? This might be fun to do. Like, at 4. especially if I'm doing creative shit. Which is also problematic because creative shit means not necessarily. Yeah, that is not what I thought it was gonna. Nope, nope. I don't like this for the simple reason that I keep looking that up. There, that's why. It's too close. That spitter is right in my face. Problem with this is I need to make it so that there's, yes, a belt here. What the hell? Why? Should no space to collect it, right? This might be touch challenging. Nah. Those are more placeholders. How we doing? Still cranking out a fair amount of these things. I'm gonna regret holding copper in my inventory. Delete. Thank you. I'd pick up a whole bunch of copper sheets. No, they were out, right? Gross. Gross, gross, gross. That's not what I wanted. Also, not necessarily what I wanted, but it's okay. 5, 4, 5. If this is No. Have power. These are not powered. Oh, shit. That's right. The floatings of the things. Look at that beautiful. It's going to be 90. So that's. The hell? What did I break? Did I break something? No, it's still consuming. Okay. That's right. I'm moving at the speed of what's it called? The assemblers for the silica. I got a message this morning when I was, or before I started streaming, that YouTube could not guess my age based on the content that I watched. Like, I'm not extremely excited about uploading government IDs to these fucking websites in the event that they will breach or be breached, and or use them for things that I don't want them to be used for. Like, I'm just inviting. It's like it's asking for bad things to happen. Software companies, I don't fucking trust you. Okay. Excuse me. Well, that's copper. That's so. I need to run at least more than 90 a minute. That's right. Well, that's understandable that that was not producing max. These should be producing enough. Once that other manifold comes out, it'll be backed up in a minute. I think This line is actually just fine. The difference is I'm going to route it. This will be the copper ingots, which means it'll need to go in the middle here. Not a big fan of these conveyor poles. But might do exactly the thing I need them to do. Conveyor. That's gonna be not how I wanted that one set. This one. Dope. I stand corrected. Conveyor poles are of much use. Much use. Okay. Now, if I want to do a lot of things, yeah. But I think I already said this on stream. Oh, hey, Zach. I forgot you went to the dentist. So the current thing that I'm syncing right now is circuit boards from this perspective, which is not very many points. Awesome sync. Why is it still loading? It's not bad. Circuit boards are. Circuit board is 696 points, but what I'm going to be making is the crystal oscillator, which is 5,048 points. And then the one that I'm working on getting the most, that's actually not bad. What the hell? Why is this? Looks weird. Not yet. I don't have nuclear yet. Okay, so that's 3,000 points. And then the one. What? Nuclear pasta is a ton. So nuclear pasta is 538,000. Yes, and so well, right. So the idea is I was making um control systems, adaptive control units, which are 76,000 points. Those are my biggest point scorers right now, or point generators. And I stopped feeding those into the sync so that I could make the assembly director system. So adaptive control units are 76,000 points. Assembly director systems are 500,000 points. And I'm going to need a lot of those things. So they're right here. These things right here. The ballistic warp drive is 2.8 million points per minute or per item. The next closest is this thermal propulsion rocket, which is 700,000 or 728,000. No, I can't even mass produce these. I have not made a supercomputer yet, but I have the production abilities to do one adaptive control unit per thing. Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's why I'm doing this over here is basically retooling this from a circuit board factory and sync of cheap things to make crystal oscillator units, which then I can turn it into radio control units, which sync for a much higher amount. Um, so why you no spin the way I want? But then I can take. Did I do it? Oh no, I did it right. And then I can take the the radio control units and make the assembly director stuff too. That's me. Why does it say it's okay? So when I retool this, I can build the 8 constructors that after all this stuff out. But I want to run through the surplus of copper sheets to make a ton of boards. 805 tickets. What are you gonna eat for breakfast? We have a ton of bean burritos that we should probably, or that have been sitting there. We've been eating those. Okay. Good. I think this is gonna take more power than I assume because the miner generally doesn't take. Yeah, it's taking 5 more megawatts of power. Love waiting at the dentist office. And yeah, go eat some food and then we'll have to do some cleaning later. Yep. So clean your room. Did you bring down garbage and stuff from last? All right. You did from the day before. Thank you. Okay. I think this is a good enough time to let this surplus run out. I don't have things running. I see that there's a visual gap right here. Oh shit. More supports of my Skybridge stuff. I'm going to send. Oh right, I can. Spawn asked about questions, so we're gonna entertain those. I did not think this through, didn't I? No. I know my nuts are not gold enough. 80% though, man. Sorry, I was explaining to the spawn. Breakfast. 3 hours. You guys ready to play Hunt? My brain is not hurting like it was last weekend, but I am done thinking. Or at least design logistics shit. Because I also only never. But you like dying to 6-star sweats with long ammos and shotguns and those kind of things. Will I stream it? No, no, stream it. Bullets. I will see your scopy shit and add bullets with scopes. And shotguns with scopes. You could. That was a Call of Duty thing. I actually got one of the challenges or the camo challenges because I needed to do um, bullets with scopes, or I needed to do shotgun slugs, and the best way to get slug kills was dropping a scope on it. Am I proud of this? No, but that's what happened. It is what it is. Now I'm on lunch. it's not. I was trying to figure out why this was curvy. My fancy buildings. So this is 10. I don't have fancy buildings. I'm just trying to win the game, man. This is my fanciest building. 10 manufacturers in a row. With a modified. That's a platform. I know. Man, last time I made buildings was the Tesseract from Oblivion. And I tried to do expand style. That's not the thing I wanted. Expand style, like spaceships around the miners. And then I was done. I will take. I am good at, well, debatably. Functional, fucking ugly. Fugly, man. Fugly. I will do functional and ugly. None of this aesthetic bullshit. Yes. Well, because it needs to be semi-efficient. And it's the straight. I can use the build mechanics. It's not. I definitely misjudged that line. What am I doing? Is this the right side? There we go. Yes, I will tear the whole thing down and fix it. That's what I just did, like an hour ago. And the process. This used to be my circuit board factory. And now it is my soon-to-be crystal oscillator factory. Oh, I realized I didn't run parts over there. The new build mechanics are cool, except that sometimes I don't understand why this thing is not, or like decides to turn at the end. Why? Shit. No. I can only be OCD on so many things. All right. I have a limit of my OCD. Hey, there's iron plates sporadically. So what you're saying is I should reset my 762-hour server. Yes. Yes. This seems like a logical thing. Right. You gotta think about where I'm going to build cable. I think this is enough space to build 47, no, 27 constructors. 20 fucking 7 constructors. That seems like adequate space. We'll see. Definitely see. I have not played 760 hours, but yes, the server has been up for 760 hours, cranking out, or with a bunch of parts being sunk. I do have no buildings. I do have a platform sitting on a plateau or a mesa or a rock structure, and then I have aluminum, but no buildings. Sky bridges everywhere. Yes. Why build when I'm gonna rip them? I don't have anything that's finalized either. That's the. If you're gonna build buildings, you're gonna have a finalized product. Maybe I'll do that for like the mega factory. You are definitely judging me. Let's see how close we're. This is gonna take hours. Okay, that is good enough for now. It's time to go. Time to go die in hunt for a few hours before I have to do adulting things. Hey, 805. And on that note, thanks everybody for jumping in. Seago, let's go die and hunt. Zach, 1,000 coupons. I would build an awesome. Do I have enough? See, that's why I keep the 200. Fix it specials. So the 1,000 nuts, and the reason why, or the 1,000 coupons for the golden nut. The reason why I have not spent a single coupon at all is because people who have gone after this are like they made it very clear. Massage AB or massage 2 AB statue. Weird. There's probably something in there. Is like you spend one coupon and the 999th coupon takes like 900 million points. So the early expenditures really do rack up to crazy amount of points at the long or the end of the game. So no coupons spent or even extracted. So now I have a few more to go. But park here. Nope. Here. Here. Where? Transitioning to the stream is ending. Thanks for joining. Everybody have a great day. Yeah, so it was intentional, but I try not to screw that up in the first day. It's like, oh, I want floor holes or lifts or something like that, and no. So it's very much like, let's sync this and then walk away so that I do not have to, or I'm not tempted to buy shit. But gonna close this down, and we'll catch you all tomorrow, most likely in the morning, for the continuation of this. See how many tickets I go from 805, get closer to like 80 some odd, 81%. See if I can get 10 tickets in the next 24 hours. Till then, like I said before, be good humans and be excellent to each other. I will catch you later.